goal for this project is to present my process of developing 3D design skills through the use of the software Google SketchUp. The final product is presented through a video which compares my actual house to the duplicated model of my house created on the SketchUp program, and the second model, which is improved by the research knowledge such as ergonomics and storage space to improve the efficiency of each room's specific purpose. Global context is scientific and technical innovation. Focuses on the scientific changes such as the ergonomics and technical changes that is made towards the second model of the house. Furthermore, the process of creating a house on SketchUp uses technology to be able to transfer the information to the 3D program. The global context has helped to direct this project by providing an anchor to the decisions and narrowing down the possibilities, because supposing that the project is purely of creating a house, the project would not be challenging because it does not create a purpose for the house, and the furniture in the house could just be downloaded from the program's warehouse. Create a product that is more challenging by creating something that already exists. This makes the product undoubtedly more challenging as the object created is working on the limitation of having to be aesthetically and mathematically accurate to the original object. Moreover, the technical innovation segment of this global context has developed the project to improve the existing product. The use of science through ergonomics, innovation, new furniture, and improving division of space. The outcome will aim to show my ability that I have learned and developed through the project to translate my ideas into a 3D visualization. I had limited knowledge about this topic prior to starting this project. The only prior knowledge I had was from using the program for the first time in design technology last year. It took me quite a long time to understand the controls and tools provided, and it was to create a really simple clock which was not to scale. I'm totally beginning at this topic, and it was part of why I chose the topic, because I would like to learn something that I want to do in the future and I'm passionate about, but also learn a totally new skill. In this investigation phase, I've demonstrated the use of many ITL skills through researching and trying out the program myself. Most of the research in this phase is focused on the scientific elements of ergonomics used for the second model of the house, whilst most of the research of the program is constructed on using the SketchUp website, which provides a lot of updated, relevant information. They also provide tutorials which I followed and tried creating inquiry questions. I started writing down research questions on a Google document and started searching the web. But with this approach, I found that information that does not seem to be direct, because I did not have a solid statement of the goals and how I would change the second model. Therefore, I made a brainstorm to narrow down my ideas whilst exploring the possibilities. Although this overlaps the planning phase, I found that this helped me understand how much research I needed. The significance of the plan/brainstorm is the layout, because whilst I could write down my ideas and present it in a blog post form, I chose to plan my ideas visually and in color-coded form. The information is sorted in this way because I've taken a learning styles test giving in structured studies and found that I'm a visual learner. I also found it difficult to focus on the topic, because when I focused on one topic, I would think of ideas for other topics as well. Therefore, sorting my work out into this form mimics the way my thought process works, and I could put down information or ideas connected to any topic on the document and have each topic color-coded for me to take in information faster. Critical thinking. During the plan/brainstorm, I used this skill to think of ideas which would be possible for the product in order for the goal to be challenging and fit in with the global context. During the research process, I used this to analyze the information that I researched and organize it into the brainstorm format, which can easily be used as it has main topics and subtopics rather than just pages of information. For example, directly look at one color of the brainstorm. If I want to design new furniture, I could look at the green strand of the brainstorm, which contains subtopics depending on which area of the house I'm designing the furniture for. Critical literacy. During the data collection, I used this ATL skills because I had to interpret data from the websites, which are the source of information that I use most, and I had to evaluate them by comparing information and testing their validity through the CARDS method, which evaluates the credibility of the source. From reading the information, sometimes topics such as plants in workspace is quite controversial, which I have to extend further research and also put in personal judgment with the information that I got. Creativity and innovation. Using the information that I've investigated, I tested out the information by doing small tests to learn the different techniques that I have gotten from the research. By transferring the information of how to use the basic tools which I have learned from the testing out the program briefly in DT, and build onto that knowledge to support and try to figure out the operation of the program myself. These skills have helped me understand the tutorials provided on SketchUp website. When I came across a problem, I could look through some images and understand which tools I would have to use to create. This image shows the textures that I've added to the form. I've learned this from playing around with the program in DT, and these textures were applied to the form of the walls, which I've learned from watching the tutorials. This image shows the use of the Shapes tool, which I found through using the program in DT, but the shapes created is by keying in the sizes and angles. This is learned from watching the tutorials. This shows the development of the skills that were transferred from the basic knowledge to assist my understanding. Overall, the most important information that I've learned from the investigation phase is in order to utilize the information which I've researched, I'll also have to consider the practicality of having the design in my house. For example, most ergonomic design have adjustable features, a piece of storage by building it into other furnitures. However, considering the layout of my house, I'm not able to take down any walls, and some of the furniture is stationary because they're built-in furnitures. Therefore, I would have to design appropriately and rely on the research skills that I've learned rather than following all the information in the research. This table shows the product criteria that I've created to test the success of my products. It also includes justification of the importance of each criteria. For the creation of my product, the steps taken were in logical order as I start the creation from the base of the house and build upwards. I did not fix myself to which room I create first, but I started with the layout of the house, which I used from the measurements of the architecture drawing. I then started making each ground floor rooms, then pulled up the walls and started working on the second floor with the same process. In the case of this specific project, it only needed a brief plan, as the rooms on the same floor can be created simultaneously or separately and it would still create the same result. After the first model is done, including the 7 rooms which are duplicated into the program, the second model furniture can be drawn and created into the program considering the ergonomic research. The video can then be filmed through the camera for the real-life house or through screen filming programs for both the SketchUp models. The video will then be edited to show the progress of the same room in the different models. With my time management, I've realized that even though I'm following the time frame for the investigation phase, in the taking action phase, the plan did not correlate with the project. The project needed a lot more time and effort because it faces various problems which take a long time to research and fix, so I decided to make a new schedule as well as using my school planner to plan for my personal projects, also making sure that I'll leave time in October where there might be a number of assignments from other subjects. The task planner that I've made before, as it was recommended, did not work for me at all because I did not use it to plan for other assignments, which resulted in not checking on the planner. Even though from talking to other students about their personal project, they did not use the planner as well, but instead of altering the truth, I wanted to actually plan my project because without a time frame, the product will not be created in time and therefore not achieving my goals and meeting the specifications. Accordingly, I changed my method of planning to printing out a monthly schedule for my personal project and planning detail of the tasks for each week on detailed dates in my school planner, which guarantees that it will be checked regularly. It shows the ATL skills of organization, self-management, to effectively manage my time and find alternative ways to manage my time. When I realized my previous method was not working effectively, I used the skill of reflection as I reflected upon what I've done and seen that it was not working. I was not using the planning to its full potential and decided to take action upon this knowledge. Furthermore, I have used the ATL skills of effective skills to manage my emotion, state of mind, especially during taking action process. In the beginning, when I started making the plan and planned the time for each task, I predicted a piece of furniture would take around 45 minutes to create. But once I started creating, in order to make the furniture look similar to with the correct measurements, in order to fit with the specification, it took around 2 to 3 hours for one piece of furniture. Therefore, the schedule would shift and I had to catch up on most of the selected days. I have to complete a room/section within the planned amount of time. This created stress, but I had to persevere because I had no time to lose. Positively, with the amount of stress workload, I stayed really focused and on task and not distracted, with the exception of other school assignments. Information that I've acquired from the investigation process was applied to creation of my product because I was able to learn the techniques of using different tools to create duplication of the furniture into the program. The different forms of each furniture is unique and has to be created by combining different sections of each furniture and modifying and adding shape. For example, the dining room chair was made from downloaded seat and backrest, whilst the assembling of the chair and legs were made separately using the tools and techniques learned from the investigation phase. Moreover, the research of the ergonomics was very valuable because in the second model, I was able to add ergonomic designs and innovate furniture. For example, the process journal, which I've annotated the change in the ergonomics of my bedroom, referring to the research such as the ergonomic measurements. The first challenge that evolved and worsens the process was with the furniture taking up to 2 to 3 hours for one object. It was difficult to follow the time management plan as the whole project required more time to complete. With the amount of information which the program was processing, the program started lagging and would not respond for a long period of time, taking up to half an hour. This problem worsened as more information was put into the program. Therefore, I searched for a cause of this problem and was able to solve the problem by breaking the first and second floor to 2 files. This has helped ease the problem because the program did not have to process as much information as before with every change. Another obstacle came upon the project at the creation of the video because the program takes time to process the lighting and shadow effect setting to create a realistic view. I had to change my plan of having the video of the computer screen as it pans around the house to taking screenshots of each room. This improved the realism of the SketchUp model by adding lighting and shadow, but still containing the purpose of showcasing the different models. Innovation: this ATL skill is used in the second model to design the new furniture, considering the research as mentioned earlier, reflecting on the problems such as the program lagging. With reflection upon this problem, I took action to separate the model to limit the lagging. Transfer knowledge from the research effectively to create a new furniture, transferring information from the research to use on the new model of my bedroom, which was shown earlier. Interacting skill was used to acquire the information that I needed for the project. Although this project was an individual product and achieving my own goals that I set individually, I received my information from others, such as my dad, who taught me how to read the architecture diagrams and draw out the furniture with clear measurements. I also sought help when needed, such as talking to Mr. Derek, who introduced me to the program last year, for advice about how I could use the program without being on a trial version. He suggested that it would be available in the Windows operating system. I also talked to Mr. Craig, who's my current DT teacher, about borrowing the ergonomics book from the DT department, and he had provided me with a detailed measurement concerning various topics of ergonomics. Although through this project I was not able to show collaborating skills because it was an individual task, which was aimed for me to learn a new skill, develop a deeper understanding, and experience digital design. This table shows the specifications and to what extent that I've achieved them. Comparing outcome to specification, I was able to complete all of the specifications to an extent, but some may not be completed fully because of the time constraint, as well as the difficulty of the program itself, elongating the time needed for each step. I've extended my knowledge on the topic because I'm now able to create objects on the program which resemble real-life objects, as well as create a 3D model of an object I imagine or sketch out. That's really useful because from being just an intangible idea, I'll be able to convey the idea efficiently by using the visual model. I've extended my knowledge on the global context of scientific and technical innovation by understanding how innovation could be anything rather than the mindset that I had prior to this project, that my project would not be considered innovation because I did not invent the whole program itself. But now I've realized that every idea is built upon another, and creating something with the resources available is considered an innovation. Furthermore, I acknowledge how powerful it is to convey ideas because when my dad handed me the folder of architectural measurements for the house in the beginning of the project, it came with an extremely large folder, but to be able to compress the information into a file, which is much more practical, goes to show how important technical innovation is in today's society. I understand how I'm able to work and what I should expect myself rather than setting goals that are difficult to be achieved. Although when I realized that this project might take longer and more effort than I had planned, I still took the risk and changed the efficiency of my work schedule in order to achieve the goal. I learned the importance of organizing my time as well as being flexible with the time management, because when the time plan changed, I was able to remake the whole plan. It was the skill of inquirer because I was able to learn individually and manage my own learning towards a set goal. I think this project forced me to change as a person, as I always want everything in a structural format. It is not possible to follow the structure because the obstacle will come in the way. I learned to keep an open mind on the possibilities rather than focusing on one goal, which causes me to be unbalanced. Moreover, I learned that I'm an extremely stubborn person. If I have an idea that I believe in, I'll work on it and plan everything out to achieve the goal. Although this may appear as a good attribute, I can overwork myself and not plan realistically, considering the amount of time I have purely just because I want to do it. Overall, I think it has been a really tough journey, and I hope that anyone watching would not be bored to death right now, and good luck with marking all the other papers. Yeah, this is all. Thank you for watching.